and answer it that way. But my question, just to kind of get us started, Rob, is I kind of want to go from this great big map to, you know, the territory of our day-to-day lives in quarantine. And the reason I'm asking this is, you know, for people like me, and I think probably for people like you, when we're dealing with any level of intensity, sometimes having these maps can actually help a lot because it sort of contextualizes the pain. It's like, okay, this is why I'm burning those calories right now, right? Because I'm plugging it into a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose that's bigger than me. And that works really well for certain people and certain typologies. Other people get a little bit annoyed by that. And they're like, okay, this is a bit of a distraction. What can I do right now? What do I need to be doing right now? What is mine to do? So that would be sort of my question for you. And I think you partially answered this earlier just by bringing more awareness to these micro cycles that we are a part of every single day, and how I love how you framed that, how it sort of pushes one polarity a little bit this way and nudges that, you know, just, it plays with the tension a little bit. So I thought that was, you know, just bringing more awareness, more mindfulness, more embodied awareness really to how we participate with these microcycles and how they might accumulate. But beyond that, what can I do? What can anyone who's listening to this do? And I think even more importantly, what can we as integralists do together? What role can we play sort of in this unfolding? What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you for the question. Trying to get back to this. And this is something that we shared on Integral Life. So I think it's a good reference for it. Mm-hmm. We shared on Integral Life several weeks ago, and some of you might have missed it. But I think that it's a good place to start because it's very concrete. It's very practical. It's very immediate. Mm-hmm. And it's integral. It looks at it through the lens of 4 quadrants and says, well, we're going to be living through some disruption. We're living through disruption now. We think it's probably going to last a few months, but guess what? If the data coming out of Asia is any indication, South Korea, Japan, and China in particular, early indications are they might have to go back in, might have to re-quarantine, at least parts. We don't know how many cycles we're going to have to kind of ride the wave on here of go in, come out, go in, come out, until at least there's some version of herd immunity. So we very uncertain future. And so this is what we had published on Integral Life that I invite you all to look at. Maybe we can share a link later, but in the upper left, I think we had this idea that like this mindful attendance, you know, prepare your mind and emotions to attend mindfully to the fear, the uncertainty, and the changing life conditions ahead. And here's some specific like things just to bear in mind. Mm-hmm. You know, daily, you know, affirm daily your intention to attend to your emotions mindfully. Be aware of devolving towards fear and survival needs. I mean, they live in all of us, they're real, but be aware of it. Be aware of where you are as you negotiate the stack of your needs, as you negotiate, move up and down the hierarchy of needs and values. Commit to helping others remain present and abundant, your children, your friends, your community, and parents and others. Practice gratitude. I find I had maybe 15 minutes yesterday. It was not a good, it was like, you know, it's like one of those moments that you're talking about. It's like it hit me kind of dark, just wasn't having a great moment at that time. And so what I did is I literally just stopped, I took a deep breath, and I started counting, literally counting my blessings, counting my gratitude. I said, oh, wow, look at the roof over my head. Mm-hmm. That's a fantastic roof. I'm like, and I heard the air conditioner going on. I'm like, oh my God, that's air conditioning. That is so nice. Cause I was in Thailand and we didn't have air conditioning all the time. And in Paris, we certainly didn't have it. So like, I'm fresh off the world experience where a lot of this stuff is in fact things I'm grateful for as we speak. And I thought about the fresh water in my refrigerator. I thought about my children sleeping and being safe. And so all of a sudden, all that just flipped. It was like, man, I haven't had a bad day in my whole life. And it's true. I just haven't. So
practicing simplicity.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the flip side of going to survival needs is also survival gratitude. Like all the things that are perfect actually right now. Like I could live for 10 years this way, right? I mean, I mean, compare me to somebody who's alive 500 years ago, I'd be richer than the richest king. I mean, forget 500, maybe 150 years ago. It's like you got, a full fridge and Netflix. What else do you want?
Right. Lots of video games too.
That's right. Let's see, bring awareness to many new voices that will start to chirp: the voice of fear, voice of anxiety, voice of loneliness, the voice of boredom, the voice of pessimism. And Corey, I don't need to necessarily read all this to you guys, but the point is that, and you guys can see this, but there's specific things there. And then on the upper right, there's a readiness factor. Your behavior and your material supplies will help you stay healthy and resilient, or to weather the disruptions and the social distancing and isolation. In the lower left, abundant service. Now is the time to bring your lifetime of practice into service to others. Keep your heart open to the needs of others at a time when fear and uncertainty will be high. It's like this community, if I'm looking at you guys, your job is to take care of yourself in all the ways that we're talking about so that you can actually go serve others. That's your job. Your whole life has been a dress rehearsal for this moment. You've been given all this fantastic lifetime of wisdom and practice and privilege. This is it. It's game time. And the reason you have an ILP is to navigate this moment, not only for yourself, but for others who can't or who weren't equipped with that. That's why you had an ILP. That's why you were given your development.
I love it. All that work that we've been doing to grow up, to wake up, to clean up, all of that, I think, comes to fruition now in how we show up, and how we show up, not just for ourselves, but for each other. And that's beautifully said.
Yeah. And then resilience. Prepare yourself in how you interface with life supporting systems to weather a period of volatility and change. Don't think this goes away quickly. You're going to hear on the news, you're going to hear with people. Here's what I want people to understand. There's a lot of people who make a lot of money on you believing this all goes back to normal. And I want to be really clear. I don't fault them for hoping that that's true. We all hope that's true. But I also want you to be prepared for it not being true, because I think there's waves of disruption that are coming. I think they're with us. I think they're coming. I think they'll continue to come for a while. And as I said, if this is just a dress rehearsal for some of the other stuff that comes, so to use it as an opportunity to kind of reconfigure whatever areas of your life allow you to also get more resilient. In a large way, as I said, I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I saw a lot of this coming because I've been writing about it for years. I was ready for this. Haven't been massively disrupted yet, actually. Why? Because kind of had already been practicing it, already been doing a lot of the things that was necessary to surf this wave. Really, hasn't really been that disruptive to me yet. And what that allows me to do then, to circle back to the last point, is then show up in a particular way. And that's, I think that's the important point.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you for that.